second night of the back-to-back. Energy is kind of low. What did you see in the third quarter? What did you feel in terms of the energy shift in this team once the ball started going a little bit for you?
I would say we just came out and fought, to be honest. We just came out flat, and we punched them back in the mouth, and then we just played how we play.
I asked you about this a couple times. First practice, JJ's telling you come off an action shoot. He said something similar to you, I don't know, earlier road trip. How important were those moments for you in terms of just keeping you aggressive and, keeping you locked in?
It was, it's always good to have a coach like that that's super confident in you, always wanting you to shoot the ball. So, when I go out there and I do shoot some crazy shots or something that I shouldn't be shooting, it's always good that JJ will have my back. And then, those guys like LeBron and AD always encourage me to shoot the ball because they say I practice it all the time and, just be out there playing super confident.
Have you taken a shot yet this year that you feel like is a crazy shot that you shouldn't be shooting?
No, not at all. I think every time I shoot the ball, I think it's a great shot.
What's the key for you in terms of just taking advice from the vets throughout the course of a game and kind of taking that in stride and on the fly and being able to apply it instantly?
You said what? Sorry.
Just like the key of when, a vet gives you advice throughout the course of a game on the fly, making those adjustments.
I would say I was starting to learn from them throughout training camp. Training camp was big, and then also having those 6 preseason games, watching them how they work and get into their positions, and just trying to pick their brain as much as possible, asking as many questions as I can. And I think that's really helped me be able to keep working and then also keep learning.
LeBron had 2 just massive shots for him to be doing this in year 22. What did you make of what he was able to do down the stretch tonight?
I mean, it's LeBron. We, nothing new. So, LeBron, we want him to shoot those shots, and, he's the guy that wants the ball at the end of the game to hit those shots. So, we just get out of his way and let him do LeBron.
Dalton, you had a career-high 7 rebounds, which was almost double your previous career high of 4. What was working on the glass, especially you had a couple big offensive ones?
Before the game, they told us that they were really physical and always crashing the board super hard. I think they had 21 offensive rebounds last game against the Thunder, I believe. And then we kind of made it an emphasis at halftime to make sure we all box out and make sure we find a guy.
Thanks, DK.
82nd night of a back-to-back. You guys shorthanded as well. What would you say this one took in terms of getting it done down the stretch?
You said executing. We got stops. B.I. made some tough shots, but we got stops. We stopped by allowing them to get offensive rebounds. Brian, 2 huge threes. Max with a big offensive rebound. It's always tough to win on the road. They played hard the entire game, so it's nothing that we didn't expect. They were shooting the ball very well. But we find a way to, pull it out and get stops towards the end and execute and, just make plays towards the end of the game.
It's nothing new per se when it comes to Dalton and him finding a rhythm in a zone. What's it like to be a part of it when you're out there?
Yeah, anytime he shoot the ball, I think it's going in. That's why, we get so frustrated and upset when he doesn't shoot. He's a great player. He can defend, he can shoot, he can put on the floor, he can pass, so he can do it all. But, when he have his his stretches, where he gets hot, it's a big boost for our team, and we're able to feed off that energy, and, most of the time we make a run off of it.
He doesn't seem like the kind of player that needs the confidence. He seems like a pretty confident offensive player, but to have games like this in a row when he's had the opportunity, what can that do for a young player?
He's not even really a young player. You know what I'm saying?
Young player in the league.
I know, yeah, for sure. But I'm just saying he's not really a young player. So it's, he's seen a lot of defenses. Obviously, his scoring ability, through his college career, and then, he's already pro ready. It's kind of how like Dame was. You go through college for so long. You kind of mature, get older. And so now, like you said, he doesn't need that confidence. But when you have guys, telling you to shoot the ball, that usually shows that we have the utmost confidence in you to go out there and make shots. So he take big time shots, he make big time shots, and like I said, it gives us a boost, especially when, 2 or 3 go in. We're looking for him. We're looking for him for him to shoot the basketball, and, it just kind of opens up everything else for us.
Andy, what's the mood when a team goes into a game like tonight? I mean, you guys know this is going to be hard, back-to-back. You know they're going to play incredibly hard. And then just the energy tank just looks like it's empty for you guys, yeah. Like how frustrating is that, and how do you guys how did you find your way out of it?
I won't say it's frustrating, just because we understand, where we are. I mean, it is the second night of back-to-back, but everybody goes through it. We just have to, and like I said, they was making some shots early on. We had some good looks, early on, just missed them. AR shot one off the side of the backboard wide open. Like, that never happens. You know what I'm saying? So we had great looks, missed some bunnies around the rim. So we wasn't too discouraged. We actually had some pretty good defensive quarters. We did ultimately hold them to 99 points. So our defensive rating, I'm pretty sure it was good, this game. It was offensively where we were struggling, but we knew the team was going to play hard, and they weren't going to give up no matter who we're playing, who was playing for them. So we just stayed with it, stayed together, stayed connected, and ultimately executed down the stretch and able to get the win.
You guys are down a lot of bigs and wings right now. You understand rim protection better than most. What have you seen from Koloko and kind of the importance of having somebody who can hold it down while you're on the bench?
Yeah, that's huge for us. Jack's out, Seawood, was out. For him to come in and adjust us quickly on the defensive end, protecting the rim, and on the offensive end, catching his lobs, offensive rebounding. So he's been great, man. He's been great with not much practice time. He's come in, learned the plays, true professional, and been helping us win some ball games.
How much of that is natural for a shot blocker, and have you had a chance to kind of talk to him about some of the finer points of how you defend?
Yeah, the great thing, I haven't talked to him, so I'm not sure if it's instincts or just because he's tall, but he had a really good feel for it, so it might be just instinctual for him. He's done a very good job protecting the rim. So it seemed like he got a knack for it, and it's not much, that I really had to say to him, through these past couple games.
Thanks, AD.
Thanks. Ron, starting with the third quarter, what needed to change specifically defensively that helped to change this, turn it around?
I think just our energy had to change. Obviously it was coming off a tough back-to-back, going down to the wire last night in San Antonio. So I just think our energy, I thought, offensively we were pretty good. We didn't make a lot of shots in the first half, but I thought we got to where we wanted to get to. Defensively, we did not do a great job of cleaning glass after, we make them miss their first shot. I think they had 12 offensive rebounds in the first half, 14 points. So we cleaned that up in the third quarter, and it got us back into the game.
Not just to win the last two on the road specifically, but the ways in which you guys were able to get the job done. How big is it for this squad at this point right now?
Well, it's good to know that you can execute down the stretch. You can make plays down the stretch no matter what the game calls for. And tonight was another one of those moments where last night we had to do it, and tonight we had to do it as well.
Can you explain to people what it's like when you go for energy? I'm sure you guys didn't come into this game hoping to start that way, but when you go for it and it's not there, what it's like to try to find it?
You just lean on people. When you don't have it, as much as you would like to have it, you kind of lean on your next guy next to you. And I think we all did that. We all leaned on the next guy to the side of us, and that's how we was able to get it as a unit. Because you can't do it on yourself. You can't do it by yourself.
Well, really quick, really early in Dalton's career in this league, he got an opportunity to start these last two games. What has he shown you with this opportunity?
That he's been a pro for a while. I talked about it last year. So it's no surprise to me. Was it last year or 2 years ago?
It was last year in Washington.
It's no surprise to me.
Do you feel like he kind of shot you guys back to life a little bit in the third, that his shooting
is infectious. He can get him off versus anybody. He's 6'8", 6'9", so, and he got a hair trigger. So it doesn't take long for him to get him up, and sneaky athletic as well. So his ability when he starts getting those threes to go, but his ability to put the ball on the ground and finish at the rim as well. Saw that a couple times tonight. So he's big time for us, and we needed it, especially with Rui being out, Cam being out. We had a lot of bodies out as well, just like they had.
What type of growth have you seen from Christian Koloko, and yeah, obviously he guarded the inbound, the inbounder and the turnover, but 6 and 6, block and steal.
And he ran that, in the fourth quarter. I think D'Lo caught him for a lob behind the defense. I think every game he's just getting better and better, trying to learn the system. We probably have one practice since he's been active with us. So he's going to continue to get more and more comfortable every game, and we're going to need him, especially with Jax being out for a couple of weeks, possibly. Seawood have been out, obviously, with Vando, so we kind of thin at the, Rui was out last couple of games, so we're kind of our front line is kind of thin. So to have Christian, there for his availability is very good, very key for us.
We saw a lot of emotion from you after that second three, not just the silencer, but coming over to the scorer's table and stuff. Where did that come from?
Just living in the moment, being able to still make plays and make big shots at this point in my career. That's what you live for. You never be able to get those moments back when you're done.
Yesterday, JJ praised Max for his ability to front Victor Wembanyama. Today, he praised him for that setback. Just how important are those kind of plays for a player in his position to make, especially in the...
Yesterday, obviously, the play showed up in the stat sheet and the scores because he was able to get a steal. But his technique and how he was able to front Wemby yesterday led to him doing that. And I hope he got an offensive rebound for that last tip. I missed a shot. We got a tip. And then we went to the line after that. So, it's big time for our ball club.
Thanks, Dalton.
Thanks.
A lot of your production last night came offensively, and of course you defended well. Tonight, the shots don't fall as much, but you seem like you found other ways to contribute.
Yeah.
I guess most notably would be the tip out to kind of secure the game. What did you see on that play, and what was your mindset?
Honestly, as soon as I got to that corner possession, I said I was gonna get a rebound. I'm gonna be in there. I'm gonna be in the mix. And I knew the kind of situation of the game. If I could get a tip out on a miss, we got the ball with no shot clock left. They have to foul. We make free throws. We win the game. So, kind of just an effort play, really, and kind of just the determination to go in there and try to make a winning play for our team.
Since the clock was that low, can you crash more aggressively than in a typical run of the play where you have to worry a little bit more about transition, or how does that?
Yeah. You could definitely do that. I think it was low enough clock to where they would have had. I think it was like 3 seconds. That's kind of like a heave. If they get the ball, they kind of got to dribble it up and heave it. So you can be absolutely aggressive. Find a route to crash, and the only thing is you don't want to foul. So I was able to get a tip out without fouling and secure the game.
You also had a lot of minutes on Ingram, who's a tough cover. Mm-hmm. What was the focus there, and what were you trying to get him to do?
Yeah, he is a tough cover. You just got to make it as tough as you can for him. He's just super long, kind of like Wemby, but super long. He shoots over the top. 11 for 23 tonight, 32 points. I think we made it tough for him. Made him take a lot of shots, and he made some big ones down the stretch, but I think overall we made it pretty difficult for him, and he's a great player. So.
JJ, I'm sure there were things you didn't love about the first half, but you're holding to 15 points in the third quarter. What did you switch up as a team? What got better in the third quarter?
Honestly, our defense was good, at least our first shot defense in the first half. They had I think they shot 36% on their first shot. It was the 12 offensive rebounds that killed us. Made it very clear that they were going to crash at a really high rate, and the game was going to come down to whether or not they could get more possessions than us. And our guys, I thought in the third quarter, defensively had a really good mindset. We were able to collect some offensive rebounds. They ended up with 6, I think, in the second half. But there wasn't really an adjustment defensively. It was just get the fucking ball, That's all it was.
Makes sense. Dalton Knecht had 11 of your first 18 in that third quarter. Meanwhile, a corner 3 on each side. You've been pretty confident about him all the way going back to preseason, but how have you seen him emerge as these minutes have gone these last couple games?
Yeah. First of all, he's getting comfortable. But I would also say when you are an offensive player, when you're a guy who is a high-level shooter, getting more extended runs and getting more minutes, you're naturally just going to be more in the flow of the game. And I think maybe I called a play or two for him, but, he just kind of got it through our offense and our passing and ball movement. So it's just, I think the flow of the game for him is there when he gets extended runs.
JJ, you mentioned pregame, just, how hard it is just to win any game in the NBA. You add in all sorts of variables like travel, you're playing a team of really hungry guys that are trying to make their name in the league and stuff like that. How much comfort did this team take tonight from having a guy like LeBron who knows all of those challenges and then kind of meet the moment late?
Yeah, let's be honest. I mean, it wasn't his best performance going into crunch time, and unsurprisingly, he delivered. I would also add that we're down a few rotation players and 2 starters. They're down a lot of guys. That's just kind of the nature of the NBA right now. Is you're piecemealing things together at times. But I think beyond just LeBron's crunch time performance, like our group, in some ways, we talked about this. Like in some ways, that could have been the Detroit game for us. We stayed connected. We kept fighting. The resiliency that we showed tonight was really good.
JJ, you mentioned in the first half, New Orleans, they were grabbing a bunch of offensive rebounds. You guys wound up being only one behind them, grabbing 17.
How about Max Christie? Crash of his life from the corner. I mean, he guarded his butt off all night, and then not a big offensive night, and he gets that offensive rebound tip out to kind of seal the win for us. That was huge.
Whether it's him specifically or just generally offensive rebounding, where you're seeing more of what you've been emphasizing in that regard in the second half?
Yeah. I'd have to go down the list and kind of rewatch it, but the corner crashes through the elbows on our jump shots, that's been really good. When we've done it consistently, we've been able to create some extra opportunities. That's generally where the ball is bouncing, and then also you're just naturally going towards the defensive end of the floor, so you can kind of be in a position to move into defensive transition.
JJ, you talked about Christian pregame, but 6 points, 6 rebounds, a steal, a block, had a few nice contests at the rim. What type of progress you've seen from him over the last few games, and it just kind of continuing that tonight felt like his best performance?
No, he was great. He was great for us. I think for him, just continuing to build confidence, not only as a individual, but just confidence in playing with the group. That doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a week or two. He's an early season addition in some ways to our team, So he was good tonight. We had him on the inbounder on that last play. We ended up getting a turnover. So just nice guy to have on the roster to put out there, and he produced.
JJ, not just winning, obviously the last 2, especially on the road, but the ways in which you found a way to win the games. How big is that for this group right now?
It's big. We clearly don't like to make it easy.
Thanks, Coach.